The title for this service is Embracing Lament. Appreciate your breath, the beating of your heart, being here in community with each and all, embracing lament. Embracing lament. Embracing lament, I suspect that many of us have a reason to lament these days.
I don't know anything from Jay.
Welcome, everyone. This chapel service is right on time, embracing lament. We pause for sacred silence. We pause to honor the 6 young lives that were slaughtered in war in the Holy Land. May our holy pause vibrate out across our world, our war-torn world, as a mighty protest to war. A moment of sacred silence. May we continue to be among those who protest war. Invite Emily Richards to offer our land acknowledgement. Emily.
My friends, even in these times of sorrow, it is such a joy to be able to be here with you all. I invite you to take another moment to pause and open up to your connection to the earth of which we are all a part. I am joining you from the traditional homelands of the Gaia-Kahono people, also known as the Kiva Nation. The Gaia-Kahono are members of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, an alliance of 6 sovereign nations with a historic and contemporary presence on the lands on which I reside. The Confederacy precedes the establishment of New York State and the United States of America. I pause now to acknowledge the painful history of Gaia-Kahono dispossession and to honor the ongoing connection of the Gaia-Kahono people, past and present, whose presence is imbued in the lakes, valleys, gorges, and hills in this land where I live. May we all nurture our relationship with the people on whose lands we reside and acknowledge our shared responsibilities to these places that sustain us all. Star King School for the Ministry encourages each of us to contribute to repair and restoration. If you feel called to make a contribution to the efforts of the Gaia-Kahono people, you can make a donation to the Gaia-Kahono Legal Defense Fund, the link to which you can find in the chat. For those living in other parts of our shared world, I encourage you to find out how you can contribute to the efforts of the First Peoples where you live. Now I invite you to take a moment to reverently place in our chat the names of the First People to inhabit the lands you breathe on. Thank you, friends. I now invite Reverend Dr. Latini to offer our welcome.
Thank you, Emily. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to New Beginnings and New Beginners. We are excited to have in our midst the new students. They are starting their educational journey this year. So we welcome you and we bless you and we wish you all the best in your time as Star King. We also welcome all new and returning special students that are taking courses with us. We are always happy to have you as part of our educational community. This fall, we are also happy to have Reverend Dr. Sherry Prudhomme back from her sabbatical. So welcome back, Sherry. And we're also very happy to have 2 Hilda Mason Fellows teaching Esther King this year. One is K.A. Nelson, who taught in the summer, and one is Yvonne Garrett, who is teaching this fall. So best wishes to Yvonne as you start teaching this year. Welcome back to everyone who is returning from maybe a little bit of a break this summer. All the students, all the staff, the faculty, our family and friends that support us, our members of the Board of Trustees, and all Star King supporters. As we start this new academic year, we honor and thank everyone that has accompanied us and that is the source of support in our lives as we are Star King. We know we couldn't do it without you, so thank you. And we also honor the fact that this is the beginning of the last year that President Rosemary Bray McNabb will be with us at the leadership of Star King. May be a good year. So, new beginning, welcome to new learning, new heartbreaks, new friendships. In this year, may we learn all over again how to be with each other with curiosity, with respect, with care, with empathy, learning from each other, even as we challenge each other. In this new year ahead of us, let's meet each other with the deep conviction that our mission to counter oppression and build just a sustainable community unites us and is important. May we meet this mission inside our school, but also bring it outside our school, and may we bring what we learned to nurture our mission outside the school. Let us bring it within our school. There is so much to learn from all the communities that each one of us belongs to. In this new year, welcome to boldness, welcome to new compassion, welcome to creativity, welcome even to fear that we will engage together. Welcome to new and old hopes. Maybe so. And now I will invite Pastor Jacqueline to light the sacred flame out of the school in Auckland, and I invite all of you to gather your candles so we can join Pastor Jacqueline.
Thank you, Dean Latini. We've had a few glitches, so we're going to invite, before I light those candles, we're going to invite Liesel to offer our prelude to bring us more into the spirit of lament. And following that, I will light our candles, and I hope you will do the same wherever you are. Let us lament technology in this moment. If you have a scary face,
lament indeed. Lament technology in this moment as we've lost the portal to the hybrid, to the room Perhaps as we await Pastor Jacqueline's return, we can each just speak in a refrain as Anastasia began us. We lament. Feel welcome to come off mute and offer the words we lament, if that feels meaningful for you.
Liesel, can you offer that music? I cannot see you at the moment.
Yes, I will do that again.
Thank you, Liesel. Now Emily will light the candles where she is, and I will light the candles here at our Star King downtown office. Emily.
The flaming chalice is one public symbol of Unitarian Universalism, a faith path that some of us share. Please join me in saying the Star King chalice lighting words, which you can find in the chat. With the kindling of this flame, we reaffirm our commitment to accept life's gifts with grace and gratitude and use them to bless the world with the spirit of love. In addition to the kindling of the flame in our chalice today, we will also light 2 candles, one white and one red. The white and the red candles are a tradition created to accompany the chalice lighting by our Emerita President, Rebecca Parker. The white candle symbolizes violence, suffering, and death, and serves as a reminder that we gather in a time of war. The red candle symbolizes the abiding reality of love and the shared work to restore the human community and the earth to wholeness and harmony. I now joyfully invite Erica to join me in leading our in-gathering song.
Good morning. Today our in-gathering song is Forget Your Perfect Offering, which is based on a Leonard Cohen song called Anthem. The lyrics are in your chat. Emily and I will model this. We are inviting people to sing the first bit with your mics muted as we model it 3 times through. And then we'll open up the floodgates and invite the cacophony of sound and have you sing along at home with your mic muted or unmuted. But either way, you are welcome here to sing. So, forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
the light
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
That's how
the
light
gets in.
That's how the light
gets in.
Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
the
the light
The light
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
That's how
the light
the light.
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
All right, floodgates are open. We're going to speed up the tempo a little bit. Everyone, just feel free to join in with your mic muted or unmuted. If you're muted, sing along at home. All right, here we go. Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bell that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
That's how
the light
the light.
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
That's how
the light
the light
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
Twice more. Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bell that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
That's how
the light
the light
gets
That's
in.
how the light gets in.
Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bell that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
That's how
the light
the light
gets
That's
in.
how the light gets in.
That's how
That's how
the light
the light
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
Thank you, friends. Next, Kendall will tell us a story. Welcome, Kendall.
Thank you so much, Erica and Emily and everyone. So this person I know went to the wisest person they know and said, I have no idea what I'm doing. The world is falling apart. There is so much suffering. What do I do next? The elder told them this story. There was a person who had once been a child and would one day die. They went walking down a path in the woods to try to clear their head because there was a noise they couldn't stop hearing. It was like the rushing of wind in their ears or the sound of many trees falling at once over and over and over again. They were so bound up in their head and the fierce thoughts of the world that they rushed into the forest. Well, said the wise person, maybe it wasn't a forest. Maybe it was just the nearest path. But as they walked, the sound didn't lift. It grew louder and louder till the sound made the sky grow dark. But wait, that wasn't the sound inside of them. There was a rattling, humming cacophony so loud, it took over their head and heart. What is that? What is that? And then it subsided like the ocean going back to itself. Now, this person had been down this path before at this same time of year in the hot, swampy, viney Virginia summer. And still it took them a minute to remember, it is the cicadas keening. Loud, 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 and shh. And then they realized they too needed to keen. They fell to their knees in the mud and the roots, and they lifted their face up to the canopy above and wailed, doubling over. After a time, the smells of all the living and dead things around them arrived in their nose. Their eyes, now wet, took in new light, a shimmering clear light. And when they stood up, 10 paths presented themselves, all open and waiting to be chosen. And without effort, they began their walk down the one. And so it is, said the wise person. And may it be so, said the person I know. May it be so. And now I'd like to invite Liesel.
Liesel, you are muted.
I know she can mute people. And I know Kim knows killing Matthew's been sometimes, but the people on screen hear her?
No, no, here she's muted. You're on co-host. You should be able to unmute her.
I just turned my computer. Can they hear me?
Okay, let's do that again, shall we?
Yes, please, Liz. I appreciate your excitement though, Liesel.
Thank you, Liesel. That was beautiful. I invite you all now to join me in a meditative prayer. Let's sink into this moment a little deeper, coming to this space more fully. Allowing your gaze to soften or your eyes to close per your preference. Noticing where your breath is in your body. Is it high? Is it low? Is it right in the middle? And letting that be absolutely okay in this moment. And then in your own time, take 3 breaths intentionally. 1 to acknowledge the past. 1 to anticipate the future. And 1 to bring us into this present moment together and all it holds. Acknowledging that likely this group of people in this space, in this topic of lament, will never occur again in this way, and the holiness that is in that realization. And as we're sinking into this time together, I'd like to read a poem by John O'Donohue, For Love in a Time of Conflict. When the gentleness between you hardens and you fall out of your belonging with each other, may the depths you have reached hold you still. When no true word can be said or heard, and you mirror each other in the script of hurt, when even the silence has become raw and torn, may you hear again an echo of your first music. When the weave of affection starts to unravel and anger begins to sear the ground between you, before this weather of grief invites the black seed of bitterness to find root, may your souls come to kiss. Now is the time for one of you to be gracious, to allow a kindness beyond thought and hurt. Reach out with sure hands to take the chalice of your love and carry it carefully through this echoless waste until the winter pilgrimage leads you towards the gateway to spring. I would now invite everyone to place any hopes, dreams, celebrations, and requests for pastoral care in the chat, and Pastor Jacqueline will respond in 48 hours. Thank you.
Your way, oh, your way, oh, way. Your way, oh, high, your way, oh, high, your way, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, your way, high. Your way, oh, your way, oh, way. Your way, oh, high, your way, oh, high, your way, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, your way, high. Your way, oh, your way, oh, way. Your way, oh, high, your way, oh, high, your way, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, your way, high. This is the Apache honoring song, which I learned from my teacher, and she learned it from Walea. Lyrics are in the chat. Next, I am honored to invite President Rosemary McNatt to offer a homily.
I hope you all can hear me. Good day to everyone. Welcome to the first official chapel of a new school year. If you're in your very first semester at Star King, let me echo the very warm welcome that you have heard. Welcome to all that seminary has to offer. If you're continuing your studies, welcome back. It's good to see your faces on the screen. And I was lucky enough to see some of you in person last week at Symposium. Though we are no longer in a pandemic season, still there are so many things to lament. The 40,000 dead in Gaza and the 2,000 in Israel. The 400,000 women raped each year in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The 65,000 people who have been murdered in Sudan. These are people living in countries awash with complex histories and failed policies and uncertain futures. Cause for lamentation. The fact that I cannot begin to list the wars and conflicts around the world at this moment is cause for lamentation. Closer to home, we are in a crucial election season, and voter suppression efforts in a so-called democracy leave us much to lament. 1 million voters thrown off the rolls in Texas in just the past year. Thousands of voter registrations in varying states mysteriously disappearing. Partisan poll watchers and other election workers hired with the intent to disrupt the voting process, including not certifying the vote when it comes. Cause for lamentation. Still closer to home are some of your own lives, your own sadnesses and vulnerabilities. I have them too. There are stories of yours that I am familiar with and still others I may not know. If we look around us and inside us, perhaps there are so many things to lament. Such things are not easily swept aside. We live in a nation, though, in which the default mode is one of perky cheerfulness. And there is always a danger to lean too deeply into a mode that finally has a name, toxic positivity. I was so glad to read it so that I finally knew what this feeling was. It's a real malaise that blinds us to the very real challenges of everyday life. Those of you who read my memoir, Unafraid of the Dark, know that I grew up in an angry and violent home. College was my means of escape, and I went gladly. And yet the first few weeks of school, I cried myself to sleep every night. Because even in the midst of the terror that I often felt within my family, there were these moments of joy that I remembered. Foolish, silly moments with my mother and my siblings that my father's anger could not touch. They were barely recognized by me when I still lived at home. Yet they loomed so large once I was gone. I didn't want to go back home to live ever again. But I missed the silly, necessarily simple things. The private family jokes between me and my brothers and sister. My mother's laughter. The treat we had of ice cream and cake every Sunday night. When you are young and poor and scared, you have all the time in the world to be sad. So you try to find joy where you can. No human being can live forever in the posture of lament alone. Our minds, our hearts, our spirits are not meant to live without at least a glimpse of contentment. No matter how grim the circumstance, human beings, sooner or later, cannot help but reach for something beautiful, even joyful, even for a moment. I don't believe in the oppression Olympics. There's nothing in my life, especially at these times, to compare with the unimaginable suffering occurring in pockets of the world, even as I speak. Here in Oakland, even as I speak. And there's no reason to compare the suffering that so many of us may be carrying silently right now. I only ask us to consider that lamentation is only one part of what we need to make different our own lives and the life of the world. In addition to leaving room for lamentation, we should remember that every human heart everywhere needs beauty and silliness and love and joy and peace, even for just a moment. And the fact that so many may not be able to find it is cause for lamentation, but that is not enough. We who are warriors for hope and justice, even we can't lament all the time. Even we who need rest and serenity and laughter. We need a pause before we take up our struggle once again. Even we who are battling our way through exhaustion and confusion to answer the call that brought us here must put down our books, our advocacy, our resistance, and listen to music, or call home to say hello, or watch the most ridiculous possible television show. These actions alone cannot change the state of the world or the circumstances of our personal sorrows, but they do have the potential to change us, to sustain us, to enliven us, to remind us what we are working for and living for. Even as we lament, should we not embrace whatever gifts we have been given? Time, money, love, intelligence. Accept that they are gifts, that we didn't necessarily earn them, but that we can use them as fuel for supporting those whose lives are more precarious than our own, or even to support ourselves when we are feeling most burdened. There must be time to lament. It is not possible to live an honest life without it. But I urge you, as this new school year begins, to consider that there is also a time to rejoice and a time to abide in the spaces between them. Though the circumstances of our personal lives often give us much to lament, though the world itself is exhibit A on how to be a dumpster fire, let us resolve to have souls nimble enough to move as we need to move, with an awareness of what is wrong as well as what is oh so right, so that we might have perspective, so that we might use our gifts wisely, so that we can let the light get in. May it be so. Amen.
Oh Lordy, trouble so hard. Oh Lordy, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Oh Lordy, trouble so hard. Oh Lordy, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. I went down the hill the other day. My soul got happy and stayed all day. Went down the hill the other day. My soul got happy and stayed all day. Oh Lordy, trouble so hard. Oh Lordy, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Lisa will now play us a song.
I'm gonna invite everybody into the big question. What feeling, image, word, or phrase of lament has come to you through our time together today? I invite you to unmute and speak your answer out loud, or you can put your answer into the chat and I will read it aloud.
Kendall, could you please read that question one more time?
Absolutely. What feeling, image, word, or phrase of lament has come to you through our time together today? In the chat, we have patience, not knowing and letting the grief be. A broken heart with light shining through. Tears of catharsis. Mourning for the unexpected death of a longtime friend. The keening of the cicadas. Tiredness. Hope on the other side. Hope. Deep sadness for the world's ordeals. The twins of sorrow and gratitude.
Sometimes I want to spend the entire day behaving in a tropey kind of way as a 2-year-old, just saying no and jumping up and down and screaming and ugly faces. And when people say, stop that, just keep going.
In the chat, we have grieving all lives not lived, all paths not taken. And awe, AWE. Pictures of so much death and destruction. A heavy heart for all the evils of warfare. Overwhelm of not even being able to take it all in. I want to thank you all for sharing so deeply of yourselves in this moment. Now I believe Erica will Sing to us again.
Yes, this next song is Liesl just played the refrain for Lucen. Just give me one moment, you all. I'm trying to put the lyrics in the chat. This is a practice, not perfection. Lucen. In the interest of time, I'll just sing one verse or sing it one time through. Feel free to sing along at home with your mic muted. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath and holy name. Will you ease this pain? Holy breath and holy name. Will you ease this pain? Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go.
And now, as Reverend Rosemary has encouraged us to move from lament into joy, we joyfully welcome our new students to Star King School for the Ministry. Please join us for a blessing of the students as we read their names. Jamie Star Deanda, Beverly Boxell, Steph Jenkinson,
Sarah Grant, Anastasia Yarborough, Dandelion Heart Writer.
Adrian Brand, James Hardy, Madeline Michelle,
Tanya Turner Bell, Rachel Kolar McCord, Shannon Sonoras,
and Allison Small. With joy in our hearts, we welcome these seminarians into our community.
We now send our sacred word, I send our sacred flames with the collective voices of those who've created this service.
we leave this time of ritual and we carry the sacred glow of this green candle.
Symbolizing our collective, I believe that was the spot I was supposed to say, and we carry the sacred glow of this green candle.
symbolizing our collective bright hope for the global, universal interconnectedness of all creatures.
may all be well.
May all know beauty.
Our closing music for this morning is whew, Tending the Spark.
Thank you, Pastor Jacqueline. The song was written by Heather Houston in a time of catastrophic wildfires in California, and it's titled Tending the Spark, and I put in parentheses of hope. So may hope be on the other side of the lament. And we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives within our grieving hearts. And we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts. And we are here now, we have come together. We are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow. And we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives within our grieving hearts. And we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts. And we are here now, we have come together. We are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow. And we will care for each other.
Amen and blessed be. This concludes our worship together. But the work of justice continues, and I invite us for a moment to look around at each other as part of Cyber Chat, because we here are the hope. We here are the light that gets in. We here are the promises of a new future. Take a look around. Say hello to each other. Smile.